Hello and happy Thursday, but Wednesday's live. Okay, good to see everybody. So as promised, I have jumped on this tonight because I wasn't able to do last night's. There's at least once a month now. Unfortunately, that might possibly clash on a Wednesday. So I'm just getting rid of these red lights on there. Hope everything's all connected fine. There we go. We'll follow that one for a little while. Anyway, tonight I decided today I was out with a friend. I had a bit of a road trip and there and back, and I was with a friend and we had lunch out and we were discussing about economical ways to cut our designer series paper. Because my friend is doing a lot of cards for charity and want to make her supplies go even further. So one sheet wonders are the way to go. So I thought I would do a month of doing several different things with our designer series paper, and I'll share some of my layouts with you. While I'm away next week, I will be with you Sunday. Next week on Wednesday and Sunday, I will be in Strasbourg at the European Convention. We will be treated to seeing the new catalogue and actually come home with one. So if anybody wants to come and see me after from the 17th, then please feel free to let me just check whether I'm free and pop in. Lots of new goodies. Exciting, but it's not starting till the beginning of May. So anyway, so that's the trips, but I have got 2 videos I'm going to post up to connect you with 2 of my popular one sheet wonders. So I'll do one for the Wednesday night at our scheduled time and one for Sunday night at the scheduled time. So you'll still have something to go back and watch that will follow the theme that I am going to be doing over the next few weeks. Okay, so let's get you down onto the table. And oh, that's me. That's that one there and there. There we go. So the layout I'm going to show you, I have got some lovely templates that I've drawn up. I tend to use my templates onto backing board from the designer series paper. So say like this white sheet we get in the back here. I think have I got 2 in there? No, I just got the 1. But this white card in here is our 12 by 12. And I tend to just cut this up and use the back side of it here. And I make my templates for my 6 by 6s. And if I do a 12 by 12, I use the whole sheet of the backing board. Okay, it's included in your kit, in your papers, and it's to support it and keep it crisp and not bent corners. But it has its uses, it really does. But that's old ones where I've used the packs up. This is just my one I keep in the back here because I write the colours on there. So I thought tonight, I've used this recently, and I thought I would go through and show you how I approach the one sheet wonders. Hi Lynn, nice to see you. So these are the B papers. You know, I used these the other night, and I've spoken about the scrapbook kit. So these are just pieces that I've cut into already. But when I'm using one sheet wonder, it's nice to have 2 designs that go together. I think we used that one the other night, didn't we? Yes. Recent live anyway, that one with the stripes. So we've got the bees on here with this one. So we've got the hives and that one. I might use that piece. But I've been through these with you. I just want to find designs that would work nicely with one sheet wonder. You tend to want to go for the smaller print. This one would be a bit restricted on what you can do with it. So I'm not going to use that one. I'm just going to flash through these and just see if there's anything that jumps out at me. This is the one I might be using. What's this one? Well, that's got bigger bees on it. So there's 2 of that one. 2 of the hearts with the little bees. And then 2 of the check with the bees. That's quite a bold design. What am I looking for? This is difficult now as to which one to choose. So the greens. Have a little vote here. Which one do you think I should use? That one's quite nice with the big pink flowers. They're all nice, aren't they? I know I used this one the other day, but I'm kind of drawn to that one. These little butterflies the bumblebees might be a bit too small. So I think we use we've used this one, haven't we, with the stripes. So I think I might use this one with the honeycomb. There we go, decision made. Hi Angela, nice to see you. Now I'm going to just talk you through some of this. So whilst I say I've got a 12-inch piece of a designer series paper here, I would cut this through at halfway through at 6 inches. And then if you want to cut it this way as well, you end up with 4 pieces of 6 by 6. Okay, we are going to be using a 6 by 6 today. I'm not going to cut this one though. I'm going to use this one. If this is 6 inches, then I will cut it on there. If not, I will have to start a new sheet. So I think I might just about get away with that, and I will. You know, I said the other day, your ruler on here, when the extension arm here is closed fully, this is your 6-inch mark. So just slide it along, and you know that will be 6 inches. So I've managed to keep that on there as well. So we'll use this piece. I'm going to turn it the other way again, butt it up to the end there, and we have 6 inch. That will do for another one. So I have a variety of layouts that I can do with this. There are lots of one sheet wonders on the internet. You can 12-inch pieces and the 6 by 6s, but sometimes just having an idea in mind is just have a library, build up yourself up a library, cut up that backing board, and just see how the things flow. So I'm going to cut this one. I had got 4 layouts for tonight. Now they're not all going to get made up, but this one I think tonight I've posted some squares, but just as a one sheet wonder idea. So I'm going to do this one tonight. Okay, but I probably won't get made all the 4 cards. So this one I'm going to cut into 4 squares. Okay, so we'll lay it out on here so you can see me. Move me over this way and cut this one here. So that one went there, I believe, was it? Yeah. And then these ones will come here. Okay, so I don't know which way we cut that now. Anyway, these are the four pieces, it doesn't matter. So they're like so. Now I'm going to do 4 different layouts with these. So I'm going to cut these. I'm going to go to my little cutter, she said. I just had it. There it is. I've buried it under some stamps. My tables were clear, but they are no longer. So let me just bring those along. So my first one, I'm going to keep this as a whole square. Okay. The next one, I'm going to take this. It's 3 by 3. If there's a one-way design, the bees are going all directions. That's probably my most pleasant look. So I'm going to cut this into 3 1-inch pieces. So I'm cut that onto the 2-inch mark. And put that one there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this at 1 inch as well. So find that 1-inch line on your trimmer, and that's the left. Those 3 will run in order as well. It's important if you want to keep them together that I like to have the consistency going across. So that's that square. How much space have we got on here? There we go. We've got a fair bit there, haven't we? Just so you can see them all at the top of the screen. That's what I'm getting at. So then this one, I'm going to cut. It's 3-inch square, remember. We've cut the 6 by 6 to 3 by 3. I'm going to do this one into 4, like we did the big one. So I'm going to take this one at 1.5. And then I'm going to take this at 1.5 as well. So we've got 2 squares there. And then 1.5 in here as well. So you've got 1.5 and 1.5. That's another design. The other one is going to be diagonal. So kind of go that way, I think. So I'm going to line both those points up onto my cutter. You can see that on there, can't you? So both the points that are on that cutting line there, at the top there and at the top there. Try and get it as accurate as you can, and you'll have a nice crisp on the points there. So that's 4 different designs. I have got others lined up that I really like as well, as I said, but I will introduce a few to you because it's a good way of using your designer series papers. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my trusted note cards because I'm thinking that these designs are going to go lovely onto the note cards. So I will just get 4 cards out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to keep them in here with the envelopes. I keep them in here with my one of the wood mount cases, and everything I have, my storage is all Dymo labelled, so they're nice and neat and tidy, so I know where they are. But I really think that these designs will work well on here. So bone folder. So again, just to remind you, we fold into the ridge. I always line my points up here because the chances are they are laser cut and scored. They are done by machine, so it doesn't necessarily know that they are 100% in line. So I'm thinking that these will fit on here nicely. Just try the whole one first. See, that will fit on there, and we've got room to put a little greeting or something on there as well. So I think they will work. So I'm going to cut, I will do the 4. You might see me running around the room in a minute. I've been out all day today. I had a bit of a road trip. So I had to go and collect something from Letchworth. But of course it was a day out, excuse for a day out. And lunch out, of course, so lots of talking in the car as well. It was lovely to catch up. So Jane won't see me live tonight, but she'll see me later. You forgot I was on tonight. That's why I did put the reminder. I remembered tonight to put the reminder up, and I put a little slash across the Wednesday so that people kind of knew that I was on there today. So I'm just going to quickly grab the cardstock out, those colours that I've listed on the back here. So I've got those. The inks are on the table ready. I just want to grab those colours. So I'll be right back. So we've got a little bit of black. We have Petunia Pop. Bubble Bath. Daffodil Delight. Old Olive. And Cool Pop. Have all of those out, and some whites. There we go. So now we're nearly going off for the fly of my seat of my pants. With what we're going to cut, how we're going to do some of these. So I'm going to take one of these cards. Have you got any? If you've got any preference on these? Hi Anne, hi Marilyn. Yeah, I probably won't get all 4 of these done, much as I'd like to. But I'm going to start off with a Petunia Pop piece of card here. This one is going to go landscape on that one, but I want to put some texture on the background somewhere. So I'm going to grab the big machine in a sec. I'm going to cut some of this, the layer that will fit. These are solid cards, aren't they? Let's just take a piece of the cardstock. Okay, so just as a reminder, our note cards here are 3.5 by 5. Just going to run that on there just to show you, just make sure. So they go 3.5 inches by 5 inches. So I tend to like to stick to the sizes that in inches, because the note cards are in inches. You know I'm a centimetre girl really, but I'm going to just take this 1/8 of an inch down. So I'm going to make this at 4 7/8. So just take 1/8 of an inch off. If you start in inches, and they're just easier to handle really. It's 3.5, so I'm going to come down to 3 3/8. Okay, and you should find that that will be the perfect size to fit on the front of your card, with just that little white layer around the outside edges there. Okay, so it might be that I do textured layers on all of these. It might be that I take another piece of card on one, and in fact, let's do that. Let's have a base like so. Put that to one side. This is another piece of paper, but it can be any scraps that you've got in there. Because this is a whole 6-inch piece, I'm going to leave this one intact because it will do another one sheet wonder. And I'm going to take this funny shaped piece here. So for this one, I'm going to cut at 3 3/8 this way because it's the slimmer end and this is the longer side. And then turn it and do the same measurement. So 4 7/8. Little scrappy piece there, that will be kept. And then this one, we can have the the chevrons on there, the honeycombs on there. So that's the second one. We can use the white bases, but it's kind of like nice to put some colour on there as well. So I think we'll leave it at those two for now. We'll decide as we go along which layout we're going to use. So what have we got on here? So this one here can be straight onto the paper. So I'm going to get the Tombow out. It's not very nice to have to cover these little bees up, is it? Because they're so pretty. I love the colours in this collection. If you remember, these colours used to be, they brought this design out with the red detail on it. So the jam pots had red details, red labels, and these flowers, they were the reds and oranges. So they just changed up the colourways, and I really like these colours. They're my sort of colours. I do like the olive greens, and I love the purples, the petunia pop, so it's really handy. This one I might be embossing, so I might save that one and do those offline and just share them as photos afterwards. So these shapes here, when I like to put a matte layer on, I like to just take it about 1/8 of an inch bigger or 1/4 of an inch bigger. I'm not quite sure which layout's going to look nicer on here. I think this one could go this way, but it is very tight on the sizes there. I think they will want to go onto a plain card. So it could go that way on. And then we'll put some matte layers behind them, and we could have a nice sentiment coming through the middle there. So I'm going to set that one aside because we know what we want to do that one. This one could possibly have a panel like so. Just twist it round till you get your eye gets where you'd like to have it. But I want some texture. I don't like this plain purple, petunia pop. Don't want that plain, and I want this just to have that little tiny bit of border on that one. So that one is going to sit there. We'll work these out as we go along, even if I don't make them all up. I want to give you some ideas. So my black card is, yeah, rather busy here. So trimmer. Excuse me. So because the square here was 3 inches, I'm going to take this one to, we're going to try 3 1/8 and 3 1/8. It just wants to be that tiny little bit bigger. I don't really like to have too much black on a card, but these little creatures might just be too small. It's hard to see that on a black mat. It might be okay. Just got that little tiny border, so if I was to texturize that card, it's going to fit on there really nicely, like so. And then we've got space here to put a greeting at the bottom. So I like that layout, so I'm going to leave that one together. What else can we do? These ones here, this needs a layer, and I'm just going to test with this one being the 1/8 of an inch layer. This, because you've got the gaps through the middle as well, an 1/8 is going to be too tiny. It won't work. So I'm going to take another piece of card. I think the black will be striking to bring that out, so I'm going to do the same again. That's the base card. Don't really want to do that. I have so many scraps in here. They're getting a little bit unruly. That's not big enough. I try to avoid, look at all these in here, I try to avoid cutting into a whole sheet, but sometimes it just has to be done. They're too big to go in my scrapbook, but not big enough to be keeping neat and tidy. So my squares were 1.5, so I want the whole square, it's going to be 3 still, but I want it to be 3 1/4, I think. I'm going to try 3 1/4 and see how they look. I'm sure you'll understand what I'm meaning with regards to the border around here, because these will have an extra little bit of detail around there. Should work on here with a tiny little border, so they'll end up similar size border to that one. We might decide whether we're going to do anything in the background or not, so they could fit on there nicely like so. So I'm going to slide that one up there out of the way. And then this one's a little bit different. This one, we want to have, we're going to extend this one. We're going to have this, I do a layer like so on my cards, this sort of nearly that shape, but I want to extend this. So I'm thinking I want to put a greeting through the middle there, but I'm not sure whether that's going to work with the sizes I want. I think so. Let me just take some white. So you'll be able to watch this on replay and then go back and cut your sizes accordingly. But I'm going to do this one onto a strip so that I can put a greeting through here. So I'm going to take this one at 3 inches by 4 inches. That's the longest length. That's the shortest length. So I'll leave those over there. So this one, what I'd like to do is to put this one here, right up to the edges, and then this one down here, right up to the edges. Okay, so I think I'm going to anchor those down because they're, do we want to do it all with that one, or do we want to swap those over? No, I think we've got to keep to this way. We want to see those nice little critters' faces, don't we? So just go around the edges of those triangles. You notice I'm struggling without my glasses. I think I've left them down the other end of the room there. So you're not going to see much of the border on this one, but we are going to put another matte layer behind it. Okay, so that's taken us right to those points on there. And then this one over this side. Whoops. So put some comments on here. Have you tried any of you watching me? Have you tried one sheet wonders? Do you like one sheet wonders? There's so many different templates out there, but some of them go into loads of detail, and especially the 12-inch ones, and you can end up with so many little pieces. It's just incredible. It's just, yeah, it's really detailed. So this one would look nice with that honeycomb background, I think. So there we are. I think we're nearly there. We've just got that first one to do, but I think this one might look nice. And again, I think that we need the solid colour to bring that out. Now, do we go for a piece of this to keep them consistent, like so? Or would we like black on there again? See, the black just seems to work, doesn't it? So that's the black, and that was the purple. So that just pops, doesn't it? Have a little vote, whoever's watching at the moment. If you're watching on replay, sorry that you won't be able to join in. But that's the Petunia Pop. I think I like the black better. I really do. I'll give you a few seconds just to work that one out. I think it gives us more of a definition between the corners. So I'm going to cut one of these out anyway, because we'll get that used. So I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4, just off the edge there. So that's 4 1/8, and that's 4 1/4, and 3 1/4 this way. 3 1/4 there. Okay, let's just stick that on there and see how we look. Oh no, maybe not. Yes. Right, I'm going to take those down to 1/8 actually, 3 1/8. So that's too big for the note card. The sizes I'm giving you here, you can actually use those on full-size cards as well. You don't have to do the note cards. Just like I thought, I like my note cards. So I will pop them on there like so. Just giving that little tiny border, and you can still see the honeycomb behind. We're not hiding. Oh, Lynn, your first one up, and you'd like the pink. Let's cut one. Just let you view that one for a little while I cut the pink one. So we're doing it as on the 8th, aren't we? So 4 1/4, 3 1/8, sorry, and 4 1/8, and now 3 1/8. I've been looking through your papers tonight, so give me some food. Absolutely, that's what I'm trying to do. Just because I was talking to Jane earlier today, and just to she makes a lot for charity. She supports Oxborough Hall if you're local to me, and she makes the cards for them to sell in the shop to raise funds. So that's that is the black one again. If I bring that up to the camera. Okay, so that's the black background. Okay, be ready to make another vote. And then Lynn's choice was the Petunia Pop. There we go. So we've got that one there. So which do you think? We've got another, hi Angela, the other Angela. We've got another black one there. I think the black is stronger, isn't it? But what I can do, I'm just going to try something to bring in your Petunia Pop, Lynn. We can't leave you out. I'm going to raise this one onto here. All right. Oh, maybe I should have done that first. Hang on a sec. I will be sticking that one on there. I just wanted to quickly do something here. Right, what I'm going to do here is just cut. This is on 1 3/4, so I'm going to take it down 1/8. Okay, so just I'm cutting, measuring here 1/8 all the way down, and I'm going to cut off there, and I've got a narrow strip. That didn't do very well, did it? That's gone a little bit on the So let's come down again and level that one up. And then we're going to cut two little narrow strips, but we do want them to be really straight. So just follow your eye from the measurement all the way down and make sure you're happy that that is straight. Okay, hopefully that will be 1, and then move it down 1/8 again. Make sure it's all perfectly straight down there and cut that one off. Okay, this is easier done before you stick it down, but I've now got glue on there. So that's going to make it harder. But I wanted to just put little borders across there. I'm not going to be able to do it, am I? Now I've got the adhesive on the back. Just need something to lean on. Just going to grab this piece of board here because I just need you to be able to see. You can see the black that I'm sticking it to. The black desk mat and black card do not go. Okay. So what I was going to do on here, I was thinking I could run these along here. Now they're not long enough actually anyway, are they? They might be. No, they're not. So I need to do that with another longer piece. That one's, what have we got that's longer? Here we go. What should we use? I know they're base cards, aren't they? I really don't want to waste a base card. We're going to have to use this. Okay, let's do that again, but we're going to just take some off here. There we go. So we're going to use this on here and just fix anywhere on a given point. So 4 inches there. And what I'm going to do is then move this along. So what I'm using is this measurement here, but it's going to take the measurements from this end. So that was on the 4 inches line. So I'm going to come down at 1/8. And so because it's taken down this side, it's going to make sure that that 1/8 of an inch is sticking out there. So just follow that down and make sure that you're happy all the way down, straight. And then we'll move it another 1/8 down, making sure that it's perfectly straight all the way down. And cut that. And we should find, and we've got 2 little strips here. Okay, now they are the full length. They will go and run off the edges. So I think that's going to be the easiest way. Now, if you were to try, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit because you seem to be a distance off. Okay, it's just so you can see that. What we've got now left with, there's a little 1/8 of an inch strips. Okay, so I'm going to run this across there and off both edges. Now you can either sit it inside and have a very narrow sentiment in there, or you can stick it onto the edge of your paper. Okay, I'm going to run this all the way off here, and then I will snip the edges off because it's long enough. But the easiest way, rather than putting the adhesive down here, is to put the adhesive along this edge. So decide which edge you're placing that on. I am just going to try and see if I can, oh, and on the glasses here, I did hang them up. There we go. That will make my life a little bit easier, being able to see where the glue's coming out. Okay, so I'm just going to drizzle this glue, and I'm going to include the corner because it's going to come off both edges. Just a tiny drizzle. It's a narrow little strip, and you don't want to go too wide, and catch that edge as well. Then we're going to place this over the top here. So because I wanted the bigger border, I'm going to the edge of the paper. Okay, just make sure you can't see the edge, you just want to cover it. Okay, and just bring that, got a few seconds just to slide if it's just slightly over there, and just follow that all the way along and press it down. Okay, then I'm going to do the same on this end. So just onto the paper where the edge of the paper is, make sure you get the glue started, and I'm taking that off the edge of the card again. Okay, I'm quite close here now. There you go, just a tiny little drizzle. You can hardly see it, the camera won't pick that up, but it is very, very fine. Okay, then I'll take this little piece here, but this is a great way of using your scraps. You know I'm a thrifty girl, and love my scraps. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to press those down with my bone folder just to make sure it's adhered firmly on there, especially where there's the ridge where it goes over the little border there. Okay, like so. So then we've got our little border piece done. So you can see that's got those strips across. Now we simply turn it over, grab a pair of paper snips, and just snip those off flush with the card. Now the corners might be mitered, as you might need to do both directions, but you can usually see them quite well against the edge there. So that little piece, there's nothing on there, tiny piece around that side. Okay, so all of those little pieces you just want to get out of the way. Right, they might be on the floor because the bins are down the other end. So there we go. So that's our edges covered. We've got that all that sorted, and then that can go back on here, like so. Having said that, I'm going to put a sentiment in the middle there. I have got the sets I've been using recently. I've got the Lovely Thanks set. It's a beautiful set. I have this one here, My Small Business. So this is really nice for putting big bold greetings through the middle. These ones here are nice if you want to say thanks to somebody. But then this one is my go-to as well, Simply Said, because we've got a lot of greetings in there. So we can do these ones. If you wanted to, you could use a marker, pop this on your stamp, and then grab some markers, and we can just put birthday and then wishes separately, clean it and put wishes. We could do the same with just a note, or we could just use one of the longer sentiments in here. So let's go for those ones. Let's celebrate. We've got happy birthday. Happy birthday is always a good one to have, isn't it? So if I just take that, grab myself a block because I haven't got one. Just a sec. So there we go. So I'm just going to take that through the middle there. Let the sentiment relax. It's a photopolymer stamp. It is stained because I've used them with inks, but it doesn't affect the quality. So you know that should be nice and straight on there. And then this one can literally come straight through the middle, like so. Or if you wanted to, you could have it up one end. So I've turned it on its side so I can see straight. So I could put that there and a little cluster of flowers down there, which I think, where's the punch? Punch is here. Oh no, I know what I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to take my Memento ink and I'm going to stamp this up. Now I've got this board underneath me here. If I've got a scrap of paper, I would normally just stamp on here first to make sure it's nice and clear. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to ink that up again, and I'm going to pop this up this end of the card. Pray that I've got that straight. Good firm pressure on there, and then just lift, and there's our sentiment. So that's nice. Okay, and then this end I can mount this onto here now. So I want this to be raised up here. Stampin' Dimensionals. I've got those here. So I'm gonna just place some on the back here. I've got the large ones here, and I'm going to peel the backs off as I go. There. Stampin' Dimensionals are the ones that we use. Oops, a daisy, it jumped up with me. Don't want you on there. Come off. Oh, look. There we go. I think it's just picked up one on the back there, hasn't it? It's stuck to my tweezers. I must have a little bit of glue on there, I think. And then there's another one in the corner. These little pieces around the edge, we don't waste them. We do use all of those pieces. And yes, there's a sticky dot on the back there. Get you out of the way. Let's turn that one over. And then I'm going to place it on here in the centre. Sometimes if the card's a bit bouncy, it might be easier to do it flat like so. So I want an even border, top and bottom, and side to side. There we go, I think we're there. Close that up again. Now, the punch that we have with this set, we've not actually used the stamps on here at all, but the punch comes with the bee body. It's also like a speech bubble if you want it to. This is the little stinger. You remember we used this one for the card the other night with the punches. Let's get this one out again. Okay, we did it here with the punches. So this was the little stinger, and we coloured the beak in and put a little eye on there. So this was using these same papers, one of the other ones with the stripes on it. So that, if you want to see that one, just look back a few videos back and you'll find that. But this one, I thought the hearts were quite nice. And if you have your little scraps of card, I like to pick out the colours in those little hearts. So I'm going to just punch some of these little hearts and do a couple of each colour. While I'm punching, I punch a few extras because I'll probably find I want to use them on some of the other designs, so that just saves you time later on. So have those on there, and what other colours we've got in there. We have Pool Party, but I have no scraps of that one, so I'm going to get the Daffodil Delight. Oh look, I've tidied those up, haven't I? Because I've had all these colours out, I have been super organised and tidied them all up, so I have no scraps of those. So I'll just get the scrap boxes down. So I'll just show you the colours that I had. These are my scrap boxes with the little pieces in, so they always come in really handy. So just going to take a piece out of each one and punch some quick hearts. Okay. I like tiddlywinks jumping into the back there. Those little scraps can go out of the way. Keep those on there. You can't see the mess off the camera, can you? Get that one out of the way, and then we'll do the bubble bath ones. So I'm going to line these up along the edge here. Any little narrow strips are really good. I'm going to go all the way to the end of this strip. Turn it round. Hopefully, oh, you're just off the camera there, aren't I? I'm just punching those along that strip. Okay, I'll tip those out. There will be some waste pieces in there, but don't worry about those at the moment. I'll get those out. Most of them out of the way. And I just wanted to put a little bit of the yellow in there as well, I think. So, don't know how we're going to work these in yet. But it's nice to have the assortment. Choose the colours afterwards. If you turn it round, you've still got a bit of tail to hang on to, rather than just get all the way to the end and can't hold it. There we go. So let's take these bits out. There we go. I think we've just got those on there. Clear those out of the way. So because we've got an assortment there, we can now literally just put a little collection on here, even if it's one of each colour, just as a little border, a little collection, however you'd like to have them. Find a nice way to display them. Higgledy-piggledy is always good. So just randomly. So what are you thinking of this one then? Do you like this idea? I'm going to just pop this one down. I want this one partially covered because we've got the petunia pot border. Just some little tiny dots there. And then just line these ones up. We've already got some depth on here with the dimensionals for the layer, so I'm just going to put a little bit on there. And higgledy-piggledy, so kind of like just crisscross a little bit. No set lines. And again, if you want odd numbers, you can have odd numbers. Tiny little dot in the middle. I've just caught up with the screen, sorry. Sorry, Angela, I think you missed the boat with the voting for the colours, didn't you? So there's 4 there. I could put a 5th one on, but I don't want that colour up there. Do another blue one. I've got odd colours there. Okay, and maybe one at the other end. So overkill. No, don't want that one. There we go. So there's one card and that's finished. We've got the greeting on there nicely. Okay, so that's that one done. So we're going to go along to this one next, I think. I'll leave this one because it needs me getting the other machine and getting the embossing out. So I'm going to do that one off air and I'll come back and show you what they look like when I've finished. I've just jumbled these up, haven't I? Got a jigsaw to build now, haven't I? Why did I move them? No. That's clever, isn't it? That's not that one. Oh, that goes with that one. No, it doesn't. I might even say it doesn't really matter. Let the flowers latch on. That's really silly, isn't it? I don't think any of those match up, actually. It does, you know, because doesn't this match in the centre? That one meets there. That one meets there. There we go. The bee's hole in the middle there, look. There you go. Hooray! So I'm going to put these ones down flat and then we can put the panel on raised. So we're leaving just that little tiny border around the outside edge. Okay, once we've got a couple on, we'll be able to know what sort of border we're going to have size-wise. Be sparing with this adhesive. It is very, very economical. So just a little border there. So we kind of want the middle to be even to the edges. So we've got a good start there, and then these ones will follow suit. There we go. So this is all from one 6-inch piece of paper. Now the 12-inch papers you have 12 sheets of in a pack. Hey, good morning, Maureen. It's lovely having all our overseas visitors. We have lots of different continents, don't we? So that's my layer stuck on there. I was just starting to say that we have 12-inch pieces of paper. There's 12 in a pack. Okay, so 12 fours are 48, so you actually get 48 6-inch pieces. So the size I started off with tonight, there was a spare one on here somewhere, wasn't there? Probably buried it under my cardstock. Yeah. So this 6-inch start that we started off with, you get 48 sheets of those, or the 6-inch packs you get 48 sheets as well. So you've got fronts and backs. I have tended to use all the fronts on this one. There's one other card here I might use some fronts, some backs. So you've got 48 pieces, and this one layout I've made 4 cards from. So 48 times 4, what's that? 48, 96, 180, 192, is it? So you could make 192 cards with your 1 pack of paper. Now, if you look at it like that, that is a really good idea because it's really, really economical. It's a really great idea. I love these for Christmas. You think how much further your supplies could go if you had the 12-inch, the 6-inch layouts to use on your cards. You could have a few different designs, and I will be showing you more. So you could have a few designs and then interchange them, so you don't get bored. These larger pieces on here, I'm just snipping along these edges. We use all the pieces. They all have their place. Okay, so I'm going to do these big ones first. And you can't see these, obviously, so they are handy to just hide in the middle. Take those backs off. Did those ones. There we go. So take that out of the way. So this, my B in the centre wants to be upright, so he looks like he's the right way up. I'm going to have this a little bit more towards the top than the bottom, like so. And I love the cleanness of the white on here. And again, I can open that out flat so it doesn't bounce around. And then we have a bit more choice with our sentiments. So we could put a smaller word on there. I like the hello on this one. Pop another block down there somewhere. And pick that one up there. Now this is where you have to trust yourself. You might like to, if you're a little bit of a nervous stamper, you might find that you want to actually stamp your sentiment on there first. Okay, we have ways to cover things up. If you made a little faux pas and the ink didn't quite take on your sentiment there, we could cover that up and put a little banner on there over the top. You can move this around. You could put in the centre, and you could put a little banner through the centre there. Don't want to cover up that B though, but if I wanted to, I could. There's lots of different ways you can do that layout. So you could stamp it on here first, and then if you needed to, you could actually have this covering it up and try again on another place. So there's lots of different ways there. When I ink stamp these photo polymer ones up especially, I like to just stamp on a piece of scrap, just to make sure they're well inked up and they've already got some ink on there. There we go, because it kind of conditions and it gets the ink on there nicely. Hold that and let the ink transfer just for a few seconds. There we go. And there's our little second card. So we've got a happy birthday and we've got a hello. So I'm just going to do a quick time check. I think that's, oh, actually, let's just, I'm just bone folded that down again. Right, I'm going to move those off, remove that for now. And I think I am going to put some little hearts on here somewhere. We could have something just really simple like so. Just 2 little pink hearts. Okay. These are great to use your scraps up. This is why I have my scrap boxes. Those little pieces where you don't want to waste. It's just not practical to cut into a whole sheet of card. There we go, that second heart there. Let's offset those. Like so. So that's my 2 cards for tonight. I will make the other 2 up and I'll post those over the weekend. Okay, so let's just, you've got these other ones out of the way there. So I've got just show you which ones they are. I'm going to texture this layer and do something with that. And then this one was the one with the 3 strips. All right, they do join up. So I'm going to lay those on matte layers and I will do something with that one and decorate that and be back with you with posting those cards. But I think these 2 are really, really sweet. And like I say, it's a really nice bundle. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed those tonight. That's it. And I'm going to bring you back to me. Take that off and bring you back over. There we go. So I really love this set. So it's quite a really nice one to play with. I've done a few things with that now. I was trying to get away from the yellow set because the Delightful Wishes is beautiful, but I can't keep using that one all the time. So this is a lovely set. I've done the hexagon card on Alive. So I might actually tag them together. So you've got a little playlist. If I can do that for you for while I'm away as well. And then I can repost some of those as well. So that should keep you occupied while I'm away. And I will be in touch again on Sunday and do another one sheet wonder for you then. In the meantime, if you need anything, if you'd like to order anything, don't forget to look at the clearance rack. Some of my ladies have been looking on there and finding some real bargains. Just let me know. And if you're local to me and we can arrange to meet up or come and collect from the studio, then I will pay the postage as well for you because you're collecting them. Okay, so bear that in mind. If you order online, it's $6.95 postage, so I can't override that at all. But if you're here, I can. Okay, so look forward to hearing from you.